Hello, I'm here. I'm definitely awake and not tired at all. Oh, yippee! Uh, Stretching. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. I am not locked in at all, and I just took my medicine. You sound so awake and not so tired. I've been awake for a while already, and it was a boring day at work, which should normally mean I didn't use a lot of energy, but it just means that I'm tired because my brain has not been being used. I need to lock the hell in. I have not. Can you believe I showed up early and I was in your stream before you were? It is impressive. I was not ready. What am I doing? What do I even have in the trans? Because I did not even turn on the screen. I was looking for it when you showed up, and then I got distracted. Where is display capture? Is it that one? It's that one. Uh, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. What screen is this document on? It's on the right correct screen, cause I have been struggling. Godot, yippee, yes. I After dying twice yesterday, I've decided to take a break. Are we making craft mine? No, I could never. Well, I could never currently. Bu- 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 I've been trying to for the last like okay, now I need to try and set this up. What is cuz this isn't set up to the correct thing anymore. That one? There. Is that the correct size? I believe that works. Ooh, no. I'm trying to get it to go up on second monitor. What am I doing? Where am I going to put this? I have too many things and I don't know how to see it. Okay, wait, no, that would be a problem. I probably should have set this up beforehand, but I only just realized that it was after 5. That looks fine. I think I do just need to make this wider. Yeah, that's fine, right? If I put it, I'm struggling with OBS. It's all OBS's fault. I definitely it could not have been more prepared. Do 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 do. Wait, yippee! I've been trying to write this for multiple days now, but I've just gotten so out of the habit of creating, and I've gotten so out of the habit for creating, and the Adderall is not working as well, or I've just been super distracted on other things instead of making stuff, so it just has not worked as well. It doesn't matter because I need to do this. But also, brain does not want to do stuff. I know I started working on. I know I started working on the base enemy. I started working on the enemy logic. If I take everything off of my tablet so I can start using it. Do How much is the paid version of this app I use? How much is it? Oh, $14? Eesh. I was thinking maybe I upgrade, but maybe I'll wait. Just cuz it would be nice to have more control options on my end and cuz I use it instead of a stream deck. Do I have I don't have a way to actually switch this on and off how I currently have it. Because currently I have to manually turn it on and off. But it would be so much better if I set up a button for this. This button doesn't even work. I'm going to Do copy button, paste. Mint toggle. Toggle, where is it? I believe. Does this work now? Let's see. Nope, that's the wrong thing. I need the one that's under it. Not GDD. I have so many parts. Okay, that one should work. Ta-da! Okay, now I can make it appear and disappear. Perfect. Okay, I hide that on the second monitor. Yes, I need to. Where was I at? It's been a minute. Cause I need to figure out what I need for all the AIs, and then I need to know what is the difference between all of them. So I know all of them need a current position. They need all to know all of their positions and all the adjacent positions, like where they can go to from a position. And then there needs to be a default progression system, which I believe I got a lot of that set up. I have all positions, which is a dictionary. I probably could work on this a bit. Current position. What is this, by the way? It is VR FNAF inspired game. Yeah. It is a FNAF inspired game. I'm trying to do it in VR. But so I'm trying to get all the logic to work out. Cause I don't have any modeling skills, but I didn't know you can make VR in Godot. Yeah, there is XR setup stuff. It is weird because in here probably? No, that's something different. Where is it? Oh, yeah, here. I have to. Will it have a flat mode? I don't know yet. Maybe, potentially. But the thing is that the XR, if I close this, the XR like control stuff is in an action map and not in the project input map. So like I have to basically set up the action map inside of like a controller itself to actually do stuff instead of using the input method. Why is my headset low? Why is my headset always low? Probably because I don't plug in for long enough. So yeah, I have to have a bunch of bullshit just for the controller. Yeah. The joys of wireless headphones. Yeah, I mean I've had these headphones for how long has it been? I've had them for 4 years now. I need a new pair. Not They're not like terrible. I just need a new pair. I've gone back to wire. I do not miss changing. I I don't know. I like walking away from my computer with my headset still on. So I kind of do really like having wireless. It just sucks when I forget to plug them in. But yeah, VR is just weird because you have to set up your own input system instead of using. It is a completely different input system, which has been the main problem I've had with it. Let's see. Yeah, the base enemy has a difficulty, it has a current position, it has all of its positions, it has the movement attempt speed, which is how often it attempts to move, and just attempted. I don't remember what that's in here for. And then it needs to know if it's at the door or if it has entered. Mainly it's because I don't have any wireless headphones. Even I got some, I would probably go hybrid and use wired ones sometimes and wireless other times. Yeah, I think what I'm thinking of, like with a similar system, is with how I have rearranged my room. I'm able to like go to where I like lay down and sleep, and I'm able to watch videos from my computer now with how I've rearranged my stuff. But the problem is I have no way of like controlling my computer from where I lay down. So I want to get a wireless keyboard and mouse just so I can have it over there for when I'm just relaxing. Do you still sleep on the floor? I didn't sleep on the floor. I sleep on a futon. It's not a bed, but it's, I don't know if it's better than the floor or not. I can't say. I still need to finish cleaning up my room. Boo-boo. Yeah. On ready, set current position to default. If difficulty is 0, remove it from the queue. Function process. Process delta float void movement behavior. If just attempt is false, await movement attempt. Which on movement attempt it prints where it currently is. It sets just attempt to true. Then it gets a random number to see if it moves. If random number is less than difficulty, go to move, print current position, await tree timer timeout of the amount attempt speed just attempted is equal to false, go back. And then in move is, there is no setup for move here because move is handled based on here. Oh, this is terrible writing. Or I probably could do something better than this bullshit. Base enemy, cause if it reaches the door and the door is and it gets the door enemy's door, because it needs to be able to tell if the enemy's door is the vent or the actual door. And then if the enemy's door is closed, it retreats, else it attempts to enter based on the door. Then it goes to attempts to enter, it takes the door, and then it variable random number. This is basically the same as the move attempt, and then if it is less than the difficulty, it has entered, and then else it waits a bit and then tries to do it again, and then it reaches the door again. Okay. That makes sense. That all makes sense, right? Has no retreat function, no current function. Yeah. No position setup. Okay. I think I kind of get it. Because it needs to have all its positions, which is a dictionary. I need to set up these dictionaries. What else does it need? Because how did I have it set up here? I have all position IDs. I need to give it all of its position IDs. I need to be able to set the difficulty. I need to be able to choose the movement attempt. I'm going to listen along as I write the audio system in my game. That's nice. Because it retreats to set its current position to somewhere, but if it has a current position, it goes to the next one. But this only works for the first enemy. I guess I can try write the second enemy to see what is the difference between them. Because the second enemy doesn't move in a linear path. I mean, none of the other enemies besides the first one moves in a linear path, which is so great. I love that I decide all the enemies should be different. They couldn't have just all been a single straight line. No. No, I gotta make it harder for myself. Where is all this? Enemies and obstacles. Enemy 1 script. Okay. Great. Script. Enemy 2. Enemy 2 behavior. I'm also gonna change this one to be enemy 1 behavior. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Okay. It's gonna extend the base enemy. Then it needs to ready function ready. I need to set up Ooh. Cancel. Whoopsies, I hit the wrong button. Hi. I need. What does the second one need? It needs progress. Grass. It's gonna need a new variable progress, which is a integer. I've completely forgotten how to write code, apparently. Pass variable progress equals 0. Oh wait, no, I don't need to do variable there. Move attempt speed. Actually, what I should do is, oh, I forgot. It's not called export. What is it in Godot? What was it? I've completely forgotten how to write code over the last couple days, and I'm so smart. It's not export. It's is it export? No, this must be an old thing I'm looking at. It must have changed, and I don't know. Oh wait, is it at export? Hey, I'm a genius. I just forgot to put the correct thing before it. Okay. Export. I want to export difficulty, all positions, movement speed, attempt speed, yes, and then just attempted, no. I want to be able to change those from outside. How does it look when I, okay. If I make new 3D scene, which is just gonna be, mummy 1. Let's throw enemy 1 behavior on here. New key is integer value. Oh. How do I want to do this? Okay. Ooh, wait, no. Do. Okay, what do I need in all the position information? I guess is the question I should be asking myself. Because for all the information, I need to know where it currently is, which is the key. The key should be where it currently is. And then I also need to know where it can go next. But that can be multiple variables. And I don't know how I would distinguish that. I guess I could do an array for that. Instead of a dictionary, I can do array, right? Can I do an array? So that instead of that, I have an array. And then I do an array of integers, and then these integers can be set to the other positions. Okay. Yes, this makes sense. It needs to have its position. It needs to know where its other positions are. It also is going to need to know. I don't actually know how the animation handler in Godot works, because I know it's going to need to use that. So it might need to have more than just the array of next positions. Well, what? This is actually interesting. Now I'm thinking. I really don't know how I'm going to do this. It needs to know where it currently is. Then it needs to know where it's going to next. Uh, ba, 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 ba. I guess. Yeah, it needs to know. But I guess that doesn't work because all of them are different, because only the first 3 really have like a where it goes. But even then, enemy 2, it's kind of like enemy 2 and enemy 4 kind of don't move properly, but then enemy 3 and enemy 1 have to have this movement system. Because enemy 2 needs to know. Yes, I could make 2 different base enemies. I can have moving enemy and then progression enemies. Because they are kind of they're kind of 2 separate. They gotta be handled in 2 separate ways, because the first enemy goes from one position, moves to the next, and the third enemy goes from one position, moves to a random position, and then moves randomly again, or at least random as in a random position that it can move to. Where those guys have like a progression, like a movement progression system, enemy 2 has it so that it appears on a camera, and then eventually that part of it will appear on a camera, then that part will go into the fence system, and then you gotta find the next part, so that way you are basically trying to keep track of how many parts have gone into the fent, so that way you can be ready to close the fent when all the parts have gone in. And then enemy 4 will appear on a random camera and then eventually progress to, at some point, then move. So enemy 2 and 4 are kind of a progression type thing. First game I ever fully finished was a FNAF game. Oh, that's awesome to know. Is so bad? Oh no. I mean, I'm not expecting this thing to be anything good. Especially since I've decided, like, it would have been just so much smarter if I made every enemy just move in a straight line. But no, I want enemies that function differently. I'm a genius. It started as a bit with some of my friends where we imagined there were going to be a FNAF game about our GC. Ooh. No, that sounds awesome, actually. I mean, 100% the reason why I am making this game is because I rewatched Markiplier play FNAF Help Wanted 2. And I just thought, man, wouldn't it be nice to have, like, because one of the things about Help Wanted 2 is that there's a lot of parts, and Help Wanted 1, there's a lot of parts of the games where it's not actually you playing FNAF. Like, it's a lot of side modes. There are FNAF modes in the games, but it's not just about the FNAF modes. Where this game is purely just a FNAF type game, but in VR. Oh, I don't put the 9 there. Yeah, I'm really looking at it because enemy 2 and enemy 4 is strange, like, to think of it, but it is that there are 2 types of enemies. Help Wanted 2 only had like one proper FNAF mode, didn't it? I think, yeah, it had the sister location, like, I believe, yeah, it was only that one mode. I mean, it still looked like a fun game. It just wasn't playing FNAF in VR. And then, like, the one proper FNAF mode only had like 2 FNAF like style, because one of the like office ones, one of the office ones was just you reacting to baby's games instead of actually like looking at the cameras closing doors type stuff. And then again, I believe in the other 2 you could just react to the animatronic appearing. But then again, I guess you could react in the first game if you saw, like, I mean, you had to react faster than when Blower showed up, but it's still the thing of you had to react. Yeah, I think I need to make a second type of enemy, because this base enemy, it works for the straight line enemy and then the random move enemy, but it really doesn't make sense for the enemy that goes through the fence and the enemy that charges the cameras. As crazy as it sounds. Yeah, I think I need to change I need to rename this into base enemies. And then I have scripts base what is it? Do I want to do position or do I want to do movement? Because I have one type of enemy that does movement and one type of enemy that is progression. I know I need to add create new script base enemy base progression enemy. So yeah, I need base progression enemy, and then I need base. I really am trying to think of what I name it, because it's not a. It's either position enemy or like movement enemy, and I'm not sure which is a better name for it quite yet. Because how it is controlled is based on its position, but it needs those positions because it is moving properly. Because I guess the progression enemies do have positions. They just don't move from position to position. So I guess I do. Yeah, I guess I do movement instead of position, because I mean the other guys are gonna have positions. So and then the class name is gonna change to base movement enemy. Then I might have to change this one. Ooh. Oh no, oh, it's making me save the scene. Save dev testing. I don't know. I'll just save it outside right now. Class base movement energy? What do you mean? Base movement energy. Did I spell it wrong? No, it's just taking a minute to update. Because then I need base progression enemy. Extend node. And then class name. Base progression enemy. It's gonna need, I guess. I guess actually a lot of this can be used. Okay, maybe I need to have a base like base enemy. If I just keep adding layers to it, it will just eventually all make sense. Create new script base enemy. Because if I had at the top extends node class name base enemy, and then in here, instead of these extending nodes, they extend base enemy. Then I just need to actually make base enemy have stuff like this. Like all this. Is there a way to make? Is there a way to add like a label in here? Is, I guess, the question I'm now thinking of. export category. What? Oh wait, no, that needs to be a string. There we go. Ah, that does work. Okay, so this is it. I need extend category. Okay. Export category base enemy extend information. And then this is gonna be export variable difficulty, which is an integer. Did I spell that wrong? I spelled that wrong. Oh, that puts that at the bottom. Why would that put that at the bottom? Oh wait, because that's actually considered something else. Because that's taken from the base enemy node. I see. Can I get that to move around in here? Well, I guess if it's doing that, then I really don't need the export category. Or at least not right now. False? Yeah. Because I need difficulty. All enemies are gonna have difficulty. Export variable current position, which is an integer, and then it's going to need to. Why are you adding just a bunch of random shit in there? Integer. Export variable all positions, which all positions needs to be a. It needs to be. What does all positions need? Do I want to? All positions need to have a number associated with them, which is the integer, and then they need to have. They need to have their integer. Also, I was looking in the Unity docs, and if above an export variable you add a comment with a double, it appears in the inspector. You're saying Unity. I'm not sure if you also mean Godot or if that's just a nice feature. But above an export variable, I meant Godot. Like that. I guess I need to actually make this work if it wants to be happy. Been working with Unity a lot. My bad. Yeah, no problem. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, that's actually not. That's actually pretty good. That's actually nice to know. Wait. Does it have to be above it? I guess actually no, that does make sense. Hang on a second. Determine if move. Okay. And then that would appear in here. I guess I would need to save it, and then it would. Ooh, I should use that. I should use that much more. I guess between all of these, I need to export variable. What did I originally call it? Movement attempt speed. Is there a better name I can come up with that? Movement attempt speed. Ba-da-da-do, ba-da-da-do. Is there anything better I can name it? Movement attempt speed. It feels like I should be able to come up with a better name for that, but I can't think of any at the moment. Also, I found out you can do export range to limit the range of the number. Give an example, export range 1 to 100, 1 greater. Like if I were to up here export range 0 0 20 step is 1 and then extra hint string. Do I need to include that or can I do that? And then difficulty, I wonder, oh wait, oh that actually is awesome, especially for difficulty, especially for setting difficulty. That's actually amazing. I don't know what the last two arguments are. These, like these guys, you mean? Or do you, or you don't know what the 1 and the or greater is? Uh, I don't know what that last one is, but it looked like the 1 was in the range. Yeah, it looks like it said that the 1 is the step. So if I set this to 0.5, then I can when I if I save it, it's not letting me go up, which I love when it does that. Oh, it's because it's an integer, so it doesn't. If I do that, then it goes in points of 5. That's what the third one is. I don't know what the last one is. Seems to be a note or something. Yeah, I don't know. Let me set this back to an integer and 1. Extra hint. If I hover it, if I hover it and just let go for a sec, a built-in type for integers. Integers can. I get maybe it's just being upset. If I do that, what does? This is documentation about integer. Yeah. Okay, I think what this does, because I believe I've seen something like this before, where you can set it so that it can be, because I was seeing this when I was importing when I was working with like the default control sliders. You can set it so that it has a max, but then also you can set it to be higher than the max for some reason. I was seeing that before in other things, so this is just to allow you to do greater, less than, or what was the other thing it said I could do? Hide slider, which I don't know how that would work for this. Oh, it gets rid of the up and down, so that way I just have to guess apparently. Yeah, that's, yeah, no, I don't think I want to hide the slider for that. So yeah, I'm assuming it just allows it so I can set, if I guess it's the thing of, to write export range you have to put a minimum and a maximum, but if you don't want there to actually be a minimum, you can set it so that way it doesn't do a minimum, or it doesn't have a maximum, which is actually pretty good. And then I don't know, I'm sure there's a reason you would want to remove the slider, but I don't see that reason currently. Because that just seems like, because I mean, the slider is really good because when you click it, it goes up by the step you set, and you don't have to remember what step you wanted it to go up by. But yeah, this is good. Having it go up by steps of one between 1 and 20. 0 to 20. If set to 0 turns off. Okay. Do, 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 do. Okay. So it has a difficulty, it has current position, it has all positions. All positions is not going to be an integer. I just don't know what I actually want to do it as. If I want to do it as some sort of array or dictionary, I'm not sure yet. I think I would want it to be like a dictionary and then have an array in the dictionary of like the position. I have to think about that more. I was trying to figure out what I call this movement attempt speed. I guess I could just shorten it down to attempt speed. Export variable attempt speed. And that one, I'm going to set it to a float. Okay. Because I believe all of them are going to need this. They're going to need to know how often they're allowed to try and move. They're going to need to know they're going to need difficulty, know how often they can move, where they currently are, and then where they can go. But in where they can go, they need to be able to have other information. I should probably also label these. Time in seconds between trying to move. Are all positions can be. Cause I'm trying to think. All positions they can be needs to be something like a it needs to be something like a dictionary where the key is a integer, which is the position itself, and then it needs to have a array within it that has its adjacent yeah, that has its adjacent positions it can go to. Or actually, that it needs that for the movement enemies. I guess all positions mean something different for the movement characters and the progression characters if I'm looking at it in this light. Because for the movement characters, it needs to be able to use that information to know where it moves to next. But for the progression, it needs to know where it can, like, what are all the positions it can be in for when it goes to its next position after it progresses. Do 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 do. Yeah. So I guess I don't know how I actually want to set this up. Or if I want to set it up differently in the movement and the progression enemies. Because it needs to contain different information depending on if it's a movement or progression enemy. So I guess I could do it in here instead. Because I mean, I have to get rid of all of this. Oh, and it's upset. Why? Oh, I guess I call it current position ID. I kind of don't want to. Do I keep? I think I keep. I'll keep calling it ID. Because I am just using a number instead of actually calling the position what it is. Do. And then difficulty. Did I spell difficulty wrong in one instance? Difffic. Oh, I put the L in there. Is it supposed to have the L? I forgot how to spell difficulty apparently. I spelt it right the second time. I forgot the L the first time. So all of these are actually just spelt wrong from the first time I was typing up this code. Yeah, that's what I should be doing. It's just fixing it. Movement attempt speed. I changed that to just attempt speed. Attempt speed. Difficulty. Alright, that fixes all the errors, but I am probably have to remove a lot of this. In both the movement and progression, they need their own variable called. They need their own variable called export all positions. Export all positions. I guess I could also label it mover. And then in here, I would do export variable all positions. All positions. What do I call it? All positions progression. And then what do I set there? What do I set them to be? A dictionary, probably? Different all position. Oh, I forgot to put variable before it. Dictionary. Okay. Dictionary. There we go. Okay. Because that allows me to see. Is it upset because these no longer exist? If I click off and then click back on. Base movement and. Still exporting these even though these don't exist anymore, which is strange. Why would it do that? Is it just because it hasn't updated? If I click on node and back. Yeah, because that's not using the description I gave for this, so it's not like it's doing the same thing. If I re-put the script on it, okay, that fixed it. It was just being weird. So yeah, they have the difficulty. I wish it kind of put these in a different order. I wish it did the base enemy first, but I don't know how I would do that. Oh wait, it. Ooh. Oh, if I open documentation of my own stuff, it. Oh, it like like organizes how my code is written. That's interesting. I didn't I didn't realize the documentation just I thought that's just what the documentation looked like. I didn't realize it was going into the code and making it look different. That's actually wait. Whoa. That's actually awesome. Wait, this isn't just because I mean this is kind of just how the online documentation looks like. So I thought that this was just built in. I thought this was just built into it to look like this, but no, it's actually looking at like if I clicked on 3D node documentation, it's just actually looking at all this information. This is just what the actual script like is. That's kind of sick actually, and I'm that also is really cool, especially if you're like importing systems from other people, because it means that other people don't have to write like they don't have to write documentation like the Godot documentation. It automatically does that. That's actually sick as hell. No, that's actually like really cool, and I am every day I just become more impressed by Godot. Like every day I'm just like happier that I am using Godot over other programs. Do-do-do. I feel like I'm gonna feel the same way when I start using Linux. I just have to get Linux first. Do-do. Why do I get notifications? Do-do. My younger sister has reached full game mode, and it is hilarious to see. Let's see. What do I do with all this shit? What does that mean? She has sent me she basically is doing what I did when I mean she's like 10 years younger than me, so what I'm saying she's doing exactly what I did. Like when I was doing the 1 year college I did, that's when I found the Owl House, and then I just saw I I looked at so much like fan art and like fan like clip channels and that, and I consumed so much media at that time from the Owl House, and she has sent me so many like clips and images from the Owl House. Do do do. Did she send it to me across multiple platforms? I swear she sent me more stuff than what I'm seeing that she has sent me, which is interesting. Where did it all go? Oh, we just apparently have talked more than I thought we have. But yeah, she has just sent me so much Lumity stuff in the last months or so, and it is hilarious. Love that. Yeah. It was the last chance for my parents to have a straight child, and it's ruined already. It's also hilarious because my parents the reason why my youngest sibling was born was because my parents, like my mom, wanted to have a daughter, and like both of the older two children are like genderqueer, and it is hilarious. All she had to do was wait like 10 more years. Then again, I do love my younger sister, so no, what that is 100% the only reason why I was born male was so I can have my younger sister. And you know what? I think that is the best way to look at it. Cuz I mean that is just factually the truth. Wouldn't have my youngest sibling if either me or the middle child were born female. So I think I would I gladly accept that. I should charge my phone. Oh, but I need to charge my headset. It's fine. My phone isn't gonna use too much battery while I'm sitting here. Do do do. Do you have something like that in my own life, but it's a little more depressing? Oh no. I don't know if I should ask about it or not. Where was I at? I've completely forgotten what I'm doing. I think I need these at door entered in all of them. Well, do I need it in all of them? I believe I do, potentially. I mean, Well, I guess the progression enemies kind of are different because, hmm, before I was born, my parents had a daughter, but she was only alive for a few minutes. She had lived, there would be no Ruby. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's definitely not as fun as mine. That does suck. That does suck. But I am happy to have you here, so I mean, something like that I have is there was in my hometown at the gas station that both of my parents and me worked at for like I was only there for a bit before I moved to a different town, but the gas station we all worked at, one night a drunk semi driver came through and like plowed through one of the gas pumps, and it ended up burning the place down, and some people got hurt and only one person died, which was very sad for the community. But I look back at that event and it's like, even though that one guy died, if it happened 10 minutes sooner or 10 minutes later, many more people would have been in the gas station because of the people going in and out of like work at the prison. Because like 10 minutes before was a bunch of people like going to work at the prison, and then 10 minutes after would be a bunch of people getting off from work at the prison. And then also what I think about is I moved away like a couple months before it happened, and because it was the thing of like I worked there, and the nights when I worked there for doing the food in the back, if I was if I was still there when it happened and I ended up working that night, then I would have been in the kitchen, and I would have been finishing up my stuff around the time when it happened. And the truck, because the truck plowed into the like it didn't go through the building, but it hit the building like, and it went over the handicap parking spot that was like right next to the building, and that was the parking spot where my like dad would always park when picking me up. So I always look back at that night like, if I did not move, the schedule for working there could have been different to where I was working that night. And if I was working that night, the truck would have plowed right through where my dad would have parked. Like that's what I always think of it like. It's like very upsetting to think of the person, of the father that did die that night, but I know that if I was still there and didn't move, it could have been much worse. Like it is just thinking that like it sucks for the person that did die, but 10 minutes earlier, 10 minutes later, or if I was still working there would have been more casualties. So like it sucks to look at the bright side of it, but it is that like it always is the thing in the back of my mind of that event is like, there is so much more that could have happened. Dude. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking back because I miss that location. Like I didn't care for like the big like the like actual manager, but my mom was the assistant manager where everybody actually went to. But like the actual manager and then her daughter that also worked there were like the worst parts about it. But I liked having that gas station in that local community. Like it was a nice place to go to. Like it wasn't anything impressive, but it was nice to go there. So I mean, they're building a new gas station in the town. I don't know where they're planning on building it yet. I'm sure someone has figured out. Yeah, stuff like that sucks. Yeah, because I've definitely had times where I'm like just thinking about it, like, man, I am never stepping on those floors again. Like at least with like high school or my childhood home, like my childhood home is so like it was a mess when I lived there, and it is so much worse now. But I can still, even though I don't want to step in there because of how bad it smells, like I can still go and step in there. But when it comes to that place, I just cannot walk in there anymore. And it's not even the only gas station that burnt down around the same time, because there was there was a like like one of the only gas stations, because that was like the actual like town, quote unquote. It was more of a village, but I lived in the middle of nowhere, like 20, 30 minutes away from there, where there was only really two gas stations, and one of them was basically shutting down. And so the one that was more centralized, where everybody actually like went to, because it was at the corner where a like to go from different counties we go with, does mess with me whenever I'm down thinking that I was given life because someone else didn't get theirs. Yeah, there I am hating life. Yeah, it always sucks, especially when like to feel ungrateful, because it's always the thing that people bring up is like, even if your life is bad, it can be worse, and it's like that doesn't make people feel better. Because I mean, it's the thing of like, even if someone else had it worse, it's still the problem of you are suffering yourself, and that shouldn't be something to feel bad about. Like, just because other people have it worse doesn't mean that your problems are neglectful. Like, you don't have to neglect them. Like, that is the main thing that like gets brought up with my parents, like, or like was it was one of the main contention points between my parents and then me and the middle child when I was in high school. It was always the fact of, we would complain a lot about how our life was, and their answer was never like to improve our life. It was always comparing to how bad their life was, because it was always the thing of like, they they tried their best. Their best wasn't that good, but it was better than all of my friends in high school, and it was better than their parents. But it still was the thing of, they could have, especially when we were telling them what the problem was, they could have been working more towards a solution. But it was always the thing of them talking about how bad it was for them. But that didn't neglect, like, they use that to neglect our problems, when that isn't the excuse. Our problems were still valid and should have been addressed, because those problems were still real. Even if they weren't to the magnitudes of others, they are still something that were important. And they definitely started realizing that. I think it's the thing of like, with me into my senior year and moving out, my parents really did like start realizing a lot, especially with my sibling, like pushing to go to the doctors for stuff, and the doctors basically telling my parents that they were correct. Like, that was always the thing. And then, because I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but I just remember vividly, like, without my interaction at all, my sibling complaining to my parents about like me being able to do a better job as a parent than them. Coding, yeah, yeah. Where was I? I don't remember what I was doing. This is the funny thing about that I run into multiple times with the Adderall, is that like multiple times now I've been like, I was like, okay, Adderall, time to do something important. And then it actually just works on something completely different that I didn't want to do. Cuz I'm pretty sure that is the reason why I binge watched Invincible, was just cuz I took it and then I put Invincible on the side while I was going to go do something, and then I just, instead of focusing on the thing I wanted to do, focused in on Invincible. But what I need to focus in on is this. I need, for both of them, they get just attempted. Do I need to put at the door and entered in their own? Hmm. I'm trying to think, because at the door, I don't know, because the Fent enemy and then the charging enemy are I'm trying to think if they really should have a moment where they pause at the door. I don't think the charging enemy should, but maybe the Fent enemy should. Which in that case, it needs the variables at the door and entered. I guess I can put it into the base enemy code and just not use it for the force enemy. I think that is how I could do that. Is I need, what was I just saying? It was at door and entered. Okay. Variable at door bool variable entered bool and then I also need them to have variable enemies door. And I don't know what that would be, because that is based on if I have office info, because it's either door or Fent. I don't know if I want to do string or integer or boolean. How do I want... Enemy door. I guess enemy door. I guess I... is there a better thing to use than string? Because string means I have to match up the word. What? Because I've forgotten what they all are. Is there a better type? What about making an enum? I don't know what that is yet. Learning? What is this? I love learning. Enum. Enum Godot I should look up to specify. Enum defines an enum. See enums. Enums are basically a shorthand for a constant. Pretty useful if you want to assign constant integers. Enum. If you pass the name of an enum, it will put all keys inside a constant dictionary. The name, it means constant method. We use enum. Interesting. So I would do something like, would it be variable or would it just be enum? Enum. What's it? It would be Fent, or I guess I should do door first door or Fent. I'm thinking about how this actually helps me. Cited keys instead of constant dictionary of name. Enum enemies door. You would create the enum with all possible values, and then the variable type would be the name of the enum. Create an enum with all possible values, which is either the door or the vent, and then the variable type would be the name of the enum. So it'd be then variable. So for the variable, you would do variable state enemy pull enemy door. Ooh. Then if you could do something later like if state is equal to door. Okay. I guess I could do instead of enemy door, I can do possible doors. Possible door, and then instead of state, I name this enemy door, and then I do possible door. So basically, the enum is what the value can be, and then I set it so that enemy door is one of the possible doors. I think I get that. It's easier than string because you can't do typos and will autocomplete. That is exactly what I need, because I think that is the main thing I was like worried about, because I didn't. The problem with integers is that like I can lose track of what an integer means because the integer is just a number, but a string I could do a typo. This is exactly what I needed. Thank you very much, actually. Cause yeah, because I think current position ID still, like, the ID should would this work for? I guess it's the problem of, can I export an enum? Export enum. Enum not apply to an enum? No? Okay. Interesting, because I think I guess I could do that if I had if I had every enemy have one position per camera. That could work. Usually I would put enums in their own script and then import that. I don't know how that works in Godot though. I don't know, because I know Godot importing is weird-ish, because you can only extend off of one class. You can just put multiple classes into the one you extend off of. I know you can import a script into here and then also use that, but I know that's also has its own complications. It's not as easy as the extending, because I can't. Because in C you can extend multiple sources, but I can't extend like two. Yeah, extends can only be used once, which sucks. I would not extend an erum. Not extend an erum. I guess I could. I mean, I could have it so that the base enemy extends a class that has enum and then the node. The thing is that all that would really be in the extends would be this possible door, from what I am gathering, or like, I don't know what else I would want in a class, like in a class for the enum. If Not assuming a valuable for key enum is assigned a pass. 0 first an enum, multiple values. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so the default one is door. I mean, there's really only one that uses Fent, so. Yeah, because enemy's door is it's possible door. In Python, you put the enum in its own script called like possible door. Then you would put import possible door script you want. No extending. I could do that. I'm not sure why I would want, like, I don't know why I would want this in its own script to just have to then use more resources to import this line. I think it would make sense if I was using this in multiple other places, but I'm not sure where else I would use this even besides in all of the enemies that are extended off of this base class. Yeah, I was just mentioning it if you want to use this somewhere else. Yeah, I think that is good to know to like I think that is good if I have like if I have a bigger system that relies on knowing more things. Like if I think the best example I can think of where I could potentially use that is in the game jam game I made where I had like different bases. If I had it so that like with how you use different bodies, the player and enemies both need to know what group it's a part of, because if it's the thing of enemies have different like bonuses to health, speed, or that, then the enemies would also need that. What happened to the cure, by the way? What did happen to it? I just got distracted. That's just how it happened. It really was just like I was working on it, and then I hit like I was like, okay, the stuff I immediately needed to do is done. And then I watched Markiplier play FNAF Help Wanted 2, and then I was like, ooh, I want to do that. And then I put the cure to the side. And then I got distracted with Factorial and then the Minecraft April Fool's update. And then I put this to the side. So basically, the ADHD did what ADHD does. The cure is never happening now, rip. It is this thing of now I've been focusing on this, and it's the thing of like it's like the cure was me working on something else instead of working on the game jam game, and now I'm working on this instead of working on the cure. And eventually I'll get so far deep in the loop where I loop back around to working on the game jam game. Like it's just a looping process, and eventually I'll go back to the game jam game. Potentially. After I make like 5 other projects, then I loop back around to the game jam game and then work my way back down. And I just keep going in that loop. It's that I saw a post that was like if you struggle with procrastination, start 2 projects so that way you can work on the second one, and that's procrastinating the first one. If I just have like 10 different if I have 10 different projects going on, I can procrastinate doing the one I was just working on by working on one of the other ones. Loop never ends. Well, in my experience, you're probably correct, because eventually I just get tired of being in the loop and then stop all projects at once. That's what happened with all the Unity games. I mean, one of the games that I thought of before that I was gonna work on in Unity, I still want to do. I just want to have. It is a game that I actually really want to like go well. which I think is my problem, is that a lot of the games I originally thought of, I wanted to be good. I think that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to work on this FNAF like game in VR, is just cuz if this thing is shit, I wasn't trying that hard because it is just a FNAF clone. It was just my learning experience. That was like the best part about this, is that I can make this shit. I guess that was also the good thing about the game jam, is like the main thing with the game jam was I just needed something that was playable. It didn't matter it was shit, cuz it was shit. I also find it funny because I got good feedback, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that feedback and I'm gonna go put it back into the game. And then I haven't touched the game since I got feedback. Because I think when I got the feedback, I was working on the cure already, and then the cure I worked on for months and then restarted. And then I hopped into this Factorial Minecraft, how it always goes. I mean, the main reason why I did this today was because I needed to start getting back into the coding stuff. I wish I could find a better balance between playing games on stream and then coding on stream, just because I need to be able to do both. Because I really want to play games on stream as well, because I feel like I just coding becomes a lot of repetitiveness. But also, when I start playing a game, I just want to keep playing the game. It is a problem. I should go back to therapy. Like I went to a counselor just to get a letter for a doctor. Like, I mean, I should have gone to one many times before, but it is the thing of I should set up another appointment. I'm just watching my money before I do that. Therapy be crazy. I I think it. I mean, my thing is that I talk a lot to my, like, I basically do what therapy is, but I do it in my head, so I never actually get my thoughts out. So I would like it would be nice to get my actual thoughts out. Because if I feel comfortable, I will just talk and ramble, and I'll say the dumb shit. Do do. Why am I? Or am I need a possible door is either door or fent. The enemy door, it has to be a possible door at door. To do. What I should do is these should default to false, probably. I mean, because I can override them in here. Because enemy 2 is going to have to override enemy door to fent. But really, enemy 2 is the only one that goes through the fent, or at least currently in my mind. I think when I work on the fifth enemy, which isn't technically an enemy, it is blood. Because I need to figure. I still don't know exactly how I want to have that fifth night work. I think as I've more thought about it, I want it to be kind of a progression with a little bit of the movement, and I want it so that way the like fifth one goes between the door and go between the door and the fent, and also mess up the cameras, and then basically have it so that you have to close the doors to stop like your room from filling up. I don't know. I still gotta think about that one a bit, because I know I want that last one to be like, oh, there is blood everywhere. You're gonna drown in blood. I just don't know how I want to actually handle that experience. Because all the other enemies I got like straight down. The first enemy goes in a straight line to your office and then goes back to one of the first couple places and starts to line again. The second one appears by event, like part by part, and then eventually all the parts go into event and then attacks you. Enemy 3 is like enemy 1, but instead of going in a straight line, it goes into different rooms randomly, so that way you never know when it's actually going to start appearing at your door. And then, yeah, enemy 4 is one basically like Foxy, where you find it on the camera, and eventually at some point it charges. It's like, it's the thing of enemy 2 and enemy 4 are really like, you gotta look at the camera to see how they are progressing, and then enemies 3 and 1, you look at the cameras to see how close are they to you. Which, I mean, with it being a 3D world, like, you kind of can tell. I don't know how I'm gonna make it so it's harder to tell where they are when you look out the door. Sorry, I was not listening to any of that. How does thing happen? Yeah, no problem. Because I was just explaining all the enemies. Like, enemy 1 is a straight line. Enemy 2, like, enemy 2 is basically a entire creature, but that creature is in multiple parts. And then eventually all of the parts enter into the fence system, and then when all the parts are in the fence system, it then goes to attack you. Enemy 3 is like enemy 1, but instead of following a straight path, it has where it currently is, and then it looks at all the places it can go, and then it chooses one of those places randomly. So that way you never know, like, when it moves, if it's gonna move towards you, or like, I want it so that way it's definitely skewed so it moves more towards you than away from you, but I don't want it to be the same thing as like enemy 1 where it is going straight for you. And then enemy 4 is like, it will appear on the cam and that is basically the Foxy. It slowly progresses and then charges you. So one of them is like Foxy from FNAF Ultimate Custom Night. I know I just watched a video about Ultimate Custom Night, and I should know what Foxy does. Because I know Foxy and Bonnie are on the same camera, and that you see which one is on the desk. And I don't remember what he does. Is it that you just have to look at the camera? Foxy builds himself a piece by piece, I believe. I did not know that one. Because so basically all of the progression enemies are like some form of Foxy. Because the fourth one is basically just FNAF 1 Foxy. But instead of having a set cam that he's on, the fourth enemy can appear on any cam and then slowly builds up to charge at you. But yeah, if Foxy builds himself in one, I think it is the difference of, I believe that he builds himself piece by piece, but I believe you see him build himself piece by piece, if I'm starting to remember it correctly. Where this one, I kind of have the idea of it has, like, you find one of its parts on the camera and then you watch that part until it disappears. Also, there is some weird feedback coming from your mic. Oh no. Oh, I think I know what that is. That's a sink. Maybe if I turn down my gain, how is that? I know I'm probably quieter, but I don't know. Yeah, I can't tell. We love sinks. Yeah. No, it's probably just a roommate making food. I need to get better. I need to sound treat my room a bit. Still audible? That's amazing. Is it audible now? Because I don't think there's much I can do. Tell them to stop making food. I don't think I can do that. Especially since, like, I stream for 5 hours. Tell them Ruby is pissed off. Nah. It is... I don't think I could tell them to do that, especially since the time of day I stream is when people normally eat food. Like, I stream from when people start to eat dinner to when people stop eating dinner, so... I think it's just gonna sound like that for a bit. Yeah. I know I turned it on, so if I'm not talking, it shouldn't go through. It's just a problem when I talk, like, it's not gonna cut out the sound. But what I need to do is I just need to treat this room for sound because I know my voice is also echoing a lot just because I am staring at a flat wall. Yeah, it's only when you talk. Yeah. Like I need to make this room better at absorbing sound. Cause when I was over in the corner, it like bunched off a bunch of stuff because it was in a it was like in an enclosed corner. But now that I'm like in the other side of my room, I'm like it's a corner, but it's like flat walls. It's like the longer flat walls. I'm not in like a little box. What I need to do is I need to put stuff like up to treat it, but it's just that costs money, and I don't have money. I mean, if I found, sure, I can like find some stuff to hang up, but it just wouldn't do too much. Because I know, especially if I look directly in the corner, it really echoes. And I want to do something about it. I just don't have the material to do something about it. Because I mean, looking at my money for like the coming months, I want to. There is like a. It is an entire set of clothes. I haven't looked at it in a minute actually, so I don't know what it is. Where am I? Where am I looking? What was I doing? I'm distracted again. Yeah, there is a bundle of clothes. It is a t-shirt, it is a pair of pants, it is a jacket, it's a hat, and then it's a keychain, I believe that is. I believe that's a keychain, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And it's like it's all like this cool tech wear clothes and it looks really good. The problem is that the entire bundle of clothes is $200, and I have to still pay back someone for like helping cover my rent for the last months. But also I have until the 27th, I believe, for this. Do I? Oh no. Actually, is that the 27th or 20th? Oh, that's the 21st. I might have been dyslexic. So because I want to try and get this because the closing is really cool. But that's also only one of the things like I'm looking to buy hopefully in the soonish time. I mean, that is one that has a deadline. If I don't buy it in 10 days, I don't get to buy it. Or at least I won't get to buy it anytime soon. They might re-release it, but it won't be when I like know I can get it. I mean, I guess truthfully, if I really wanted to, I could just get only the closing and not get the hat and keychain, and that's only 164. Which, if I don't have the full $200, I'd probably go with that instead. Because I know I gotta pay someone back, and I also gotta make sure I pay my rent and buy food. What my woe is problem with me. I want to spend money too much, but that's also like just the clothes I want to get, especially since I like I only have one pair of pants that are like my pair of pants. The other two pairs of pants I have are pants that I got from work because I couldn't wear the one pair of pants I have for work. And like so I those are like the only pants I have. And then also I don't have any like cool clothes. All of my clothes are a t-shirt, a basic pair of pants, or a basic hoodie. Like these actually have design to them. These look really good. Like they have parts that hang off. There is layers to these clothings. Like this jacket has like parts to it, and it's cool. I want it. But like on top of that, the two other things I want to get are the Switch 2, which I don't know. I want to get the pre-order of the Switch 2. Well, then again, the pre-order I want to order the Switch 2 before release day. But also looking more at it, I probably cuz like the one of the things is like I want to get the Mario Kart World bundle because if I don't get the World bundle, I'm not going to buy World. This is also if I can even get it. We don't know. Still don't have pre-order dates for the Switch 2, but I would really like to get one. They look nice. And I mean, I liked my Switch, so I know I'm going to like this. But then the last thing I'm also looking at buying is a another SSD because I want to be able to run Linux finally. But and I also just need more space on my computer because I have absolutely no space on my computer. So I wanna get a new SSD for both of those reasons. So that way I can run Linux and I can have more storage space. Because I am just tired of Windows. Like every time I run into a problem with something on my computer, it's just because I'm running Windows. Where am I? What have I been doing? Yeah. Also, I think I'm gonna dip. Getting late. Yeah, no problem. Uh, have a good night. Yeah. Let's see. Where? What am I gonna do? The enemy's door has to be one of the possible doors. It's gonna default to see the normal door, which is fine. Yeah. Do do do. I can't remember if there's anything else I'm gonna need in the base space. Because I know for enemy movement, unready, set current position. Actually, this is probably something I could do for both of them if I'm being so real. What? Did I not? Oh, wait, I'm pressing the wrong button. That's what's happening. X. There we go. Yeah. On ready, set current position to 0. If difficulty is 0, remove it from the queue. Okay. Do, 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 do. I guess I could probably run. I can probably run the movement logic in here. Like I can run the logic of at after a certain time try thing. Like cuz how did I do that before? Process delta flow. Why are you upset? Remember at door already exists in parent? Okay. Well, I guess do I want just attempted as well in the parent? I don't remember what that's used for. I'm sure I can figure out better use. On process delta float, if just attempted is false, await movement attempt. So I guess I kind of do because I do just need this. Copy. Uh, on process delta, delta float void. If just attempt is false, await movement attempt. And then I need to actually set up a movement attempt in here. Function movement attempt. Function movement attempt. Push warning. Movement attempt is not up in self. Is it move? Is it move with an E? Hang on a second. It is. Why did I spell so many things wrong the first time? Oh no, I fucked something up on my second screen. Hang on a second. To do insert break, page break. There we go. Okay. If just attempted is false, await movement attempt. Function process delta. I guess I could also do in here. If at door is equal to true, await attempt enter. Function attempt enter. Push warning. Attempt enter is not set up in. Why is that spelled differently? I added an extra E. There we go. If just attempted, await movement attempt. Just attempted is equal to false, or I guess true. At door. Yeah. Yeah. Is there something better I can do for that? I mean, I guess I do have an attempt enter that's pretty good. Yeah, attempt enter, do the random number thing. Yeah. I guess I could make this random number thing like better. Cause I mean I use it twice, so I could just make it its own function. Function. What would it be? Um. Let's difficulty versus random. Did I spell that right? No. Difficulty versus random. And then this takes random number. Random number is equal to random number of 1 to 25. To do variable uh variable pass. No. What would it be? Variable. I know it's gonna be a boolean. Blah, 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 blah. Do. Yeah. Variable random pass do. No, return do. This one is also supposed to be a void, I believe. This one's actually gonna not. It's not gonna be a void, but it's gonna do a bool. That's how that works. That's how that works. Do 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 do. If random number is less than or equal to difficulty, uh, do is equal to true. I set do equal to false here. If I could spell correctly. Okay, difficulty versus random. Variable do is a boolean set to false, and then I get a random number between 1 and 25. And then if the random number is less than difficulty, then I set do to true and then I return do. Yes, I think that makes sense. I believe possibly because it means in here. Hmm, I think this is useful because I do need to use it twice in movement attempt and in. Hmm. Hmm. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm doing exactly. I'm trying to prove someone wrong real quick. Actually, no, they read it. I need. Why am I? I'm sorry. Got distracted. Where am I? What am I doing? If at door is true, await attempt enter. I probably could do the attempt enter in here or in this code. Variable door variable door is equal to what did it's a variable. What did I call it? Door closed. Variable bu, bu, bu. Variable door closed is a boolean variable door close is equal uh, door closed is equal to office info dot door closed if enemy door. Oh wait, why is skip the song. Should double check no other song is coming up like that. That song needs to be removed from the queue. All other ones look fine, at least that I can see. Okay. Door closed is equal to office door closed if enemy door. If enemy door is equal to door, else office info dot vent closed. Door not declared in current scape. What do you mean? Invalid. Oh, I guess it would be 0. Yeah. Realizing I can label stuff is so awesome, actually. I should do that so much more in my code. There's so much more I should do in my code. Like, it is so good to learn this stuff, but I also have to just learn to implement it more often. Door closed is equal to office door closed if enemy door is 0, else office info vent closed. Can I not set it to door? I think I just gotta put 0. Attempt to enter variable door closed, door closed. If door closed is equal to false, else if door closed is equal to, actually let's do true, and then we'll do retreat function retreat if door close is true, retreat, else if difficulty versus random is equal to true. If it is equal to true, what do I do? I set entered is equal to true. boo, else await timer, what was it? Await get timer time. Await timer get out. I guess at the top I could set at door equal to false, potentially. At door equal to false, else at door equal to true. Okay. So attempt enter at door is equal to false. So that way it doesn't try and do it again when it does the next process. So it attempts to enter, it sets it to false, and then it declares the value. I could probably actually just do this. Right? Yeah, it sets the door closed value to the office door or vent, depending on what the enemy's door is. And then if I could probably export enemy door if I'm being real. Tip at door is equal to false. Do boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. If it attempts to enter at door is equal to false, variable door close is equal to off to the correct door. If doors close, activate retreat. If if difficulty versus random is true, meaning it does what it's supposed to do, it should enter. And then if not, it should await a second and then it should try again. Okay. And then retreat, I'm gonna push a warning. Copy. Rename this to retreat. It's not set up in Blink. Actually, what I could do. No, I do need to set up retreat in movement enemy and progression enemies, if I'm thinking about this clearly. Doom. Doom, doom. Yeah, I should label what more of this stuff does. Cause like here. To between 1 and 25. If difficulty, if random is less than equal to difficulty. If random is less than or equal to difficulty, return true. Else return false. Compares enemy difficulty to random number between 1 and 25. If random number is less than difficulty, return true, else return false. And then if I were to hover over here, if I were to save and then hover over here, compares enemy difficulty to random number. Yes. That's so nice, actually. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, if I were to write, like, if I were to put, cycle. If I were to put that in here and then also do retreat here. Okay, well, you're just being a bad sport. The member just attempted already existing kit. Shut up then. Function signature does not match the parent. What does that mean? Like, I have to remove this? Oh. Do you have a few arguments? What? Enemy store. There. So what was that? That was retreat and then sends enemy to the starter cycle. So it's still. Oh. It actually doesn't. It doesn't do it here, but it does it here. So I guess I would have to write it in here. I mean, I guess retreat is going to be different for them. Send enemy to the start cycle. I think I leave this in here because that reminds me what it does here, and then I write what in here that actually means. Correct. I believe that is what I want. When at enemy's door to block bull when at enemy store, try entering causing door to blocked. Entering would cause the door to be blocked and not be closable, and then jump scare. Bye. When at enemy store, try entering. This would cause the door to block and not be closable, and then jump scare. Do when enemy attempt move when enemy attempts to move. I guess if I hover here, possible doors. Possible enemies door can only be door 0 or fence 1. Yeah. Enemy the door enters from. If I hover, where do I have it written down? Well, I have to describe enemy store. What door? Door. How do I how would I mean I could do that. One. I'm sure there's a better way of writing that. I just want to see if that is how I would get it to show up in here. It is, but is there a better way I could write it? Like if I were to do this, no. Is there a way to exit commenting? Good though. Interesting. Okay, this should. Oh, this is not in English. Or just that part is. Wait, am I dyslexic? What? don't know I don't think I have a way of doing this any better. Yeah, possible door, vent. Oh, that set possible door to 0 instead of. Do. Do, do, do. If I did something like that and then I hovered over possible, I guess I would have to save it. Nope. But I have to do something like that. This is a mess. There has to be a better way to do this. It doesn't. I don't need to do it. I was just trying to see if there was a way to make it look nicer when hovering over it. Do. Tells. Tells if enemy is at the door. If enemy. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because if enemy has already attempted moving, I can. I think that this is cool. Oh yeah, this and then this is all down here. I think that this is really cool, actually. I guess there is. I guess I'm probably also able to do this. Both. Ration. Enemies. Basic enemy code used for both movement-based enemies and progression-based enemies. And then if I were to open documentation, basic enemy code used for both movement-based enemies. Ooh. Inherited by base movement enemy. Ooh, I love seeing how this actually all looks. What? Turn on my light real quick. Ooh, stretching is actually really good. Hang on a second. Give me a second before I sit down. Ooh, I want to stretch my legs. Ooh, that was nice. Okay. Yeah. Door. Tells if any. The door. Okay. I believe. Is this everything I would need for all of them? To do. Set current position ID to 0. If difficulty is 0, queue free. Do. Okay. Distracted. I'm like scratching off my nail polish. Do. I'm so easily distracted, damn. Ba. Movement. I guess these all return the void, and I probably could just throw this on there. Because movement attempt doesn't return anything. Attempt entered doesn't return anything. It changes values, but it doesn't return anything. Retreat should not return anything actually. Does it return something? I don't know if it should or not. Base enemy. Base enemy movement. Base enemy all positions dictionary. Do. Base enemy code for all movement based enemies positions map. All aggression base enemies that do not move in a pattern. Okay. All enemies position. I don't need a process delta in here, I don't think. And I don't have a ready in here anymore. Actually, I don't need a lot of this stuff, I don't think. Uh, yeah, I think I just go all the way back. Export variable all position movers dictionary. So on ready, it sets current position ID, it sets difficulty, and if difficulty is 0, it removes it. Base movement enemy. What do I have in mind? Difficulty versus random. Retreat. What do I want? Movement attempt. Okay, so I think what I want is I do want a function movement attempt when enemies can attempt to move. What I need to do is just attempted. I need it so that at the very start, a just attempted is true, and at the very end, just attempted is false. Actually, I want to await timer. I want to await where did I write it? I know I have it down in here somewhere. Here, await get tree timeout. Await tree timer get out. This should be what was it called? A temp speed? Temp speed. Why? Just attempt is true. Await timer. Attempt speed false. Okay. Just attempt is true. Then I need to do variable moved is equal to difficulty versus random. If moved is equal to true, move else what else does it do? If it doesn't move, it just stays in the same spot, so I really don't need to do anything. Just attempted is equal to true. Variable moved is equal to difficulty versus random if I guess I can shorten this down to just be if difficulty random is equal to true, move. Move does not exist. You're right. You're so right. So I need to make function move. function move. Alright. Function move attempt. If difficulty versus random is true, which means it does what it's supposed to do, then it moves. How do I automatically set up so that, because the key should be a integer. Make all type good. Do as oh, this is an old one. Dictionary stable 1.4. Interesting. I'm trying to look at constructor. Construct empty dictionary. Return same dictionary as from. You need a copy of the dictionary. Use duplicate. Create a type of dictionary from a base dictionary. Inherit. Given class. Drive constructor parameters. Okay. Do. Oh, I see. This is adding new ones. Add new pair. It adds. Vector 3, and then integer. Interesting. Okay, I think I'm seeing how this would work. So I don't actually set this in here. I can set this here. Could I do a dictionary? Okay, could I do dictionary inside a dictionary? New value dictionary, new key is an integer. Do. Uh, bu- 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 Hmm. Trying to think of how I actually would go about doing this. Because it's something like this. I probably don't need... value type, value class name. What does that mean? Value script, value class name. I don't know what that means. Dictionary key type. I do want to be an integer. Key class name. Value type. I want to be an array. Did I spell that right even? Oh, I'm fighting with the... There we go. Variant. Class. I gotta stop touching my controller. My mouse. Variant class is a class that assigns store types, dynamic programming languages like JavaScript. Think of the script like to use store valuable data on the back end. General purpose. Do. Interesting. I don't actually know how that works at all. Do. And I don't know how I would get this to work. Because it needs to be an integer, and then it needs to be a dictionary. Then the key type is going to be string. And then the value Can I write in variable dictionary dictionary is equal to and type cannot be used name on its own. Interesting. Key type integer. I don't know how to do this. Creates a type of dictionary from base dictionary. Type dictionary can only contain keys and values of a given type or that inherit from the given class as a script. Okay. To new how am I supposed to do this again? Dictionary. This is what I want. Key type integer. Key class name. Position. Key script. I don't know what that means. Was how variant value type dictionary power class name information built-in type cannot be used as its own name. Interesting. All position mover information. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to make it so that this is more convenient. Because it needs to be an integer, and then it needs to be a value of another dictionary, and then this dictionary needs to have a, what is it? A key that is an array with the new, no, it needs to have a key that is a string name. What is a string name? I'm going to look into the documentation. String names are immutable strings designed for general purpose representation of unique names, also called string. These two string names can have the same value of the same object. Compare them to the fast compared to regular strings. You can pass strings to methods. String names will be automatically converted by own time, but in rare cases. Could I get this? Is there a way I could add a, like, the enum? Is that what it was? Enum? Is there a way I can get it to be an enum? Variable enum. I forgot what enum could be. Oh yeah, no, I just do enum. Enum. Buh, 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 buh. Position keys. I do. Do. I would need what's it called? Next positions. I know I need the next positions, which are arrays. What else needs to go in there? I guess I could just do an array. But also it means that I can't add anything else to the dictionary immediately, because if I set this to an integer and I set this to an array, if I need anything that isn't an array, array. Variable a is an array. Ooh, that's good news. Oh, if you, okay, I'm looking at the documentation. Apparently, if you want to use the default value, you can use the brackets, it looks like. Variable array, variable t array, variable t array is a array equal to array integer type integer. What do you mean? Type is an integer. I Oh, this is more complicated than I thought it was gonna be, if I'm being real. Will array. So it doesn't set this to be integers immediately, it doesn't look like. But it does say it's an array. Then again, I guess if I removed all of this, would it still say it's an array? Interesting. Godot Hype, hello, welcome in. I don't know what I'm doing at all. I'm messing around with dictionaries and arrays and stuff because I don't know what I'm doing at all. But what I'm trying to figure out what I can do, because as this export goes, I need to set the key type, and then I need to set new value, which is probably going to be an array, but I also need to make sure that this array can only be integers as well. So I'm trying to see if there's a way I can write it in here that makes it so that this automatically sets itself up instead of me having to do all of this. Then, how do I get rid of that? Size down. Instead of having to add all of that into here and then every time I like open into there, I have to re-put all of that. It's so much fun because I have no idea how I would do that, and looking at the script is intimidating, or like looking at the documentation is intimidating. So much fun. I'm having so much fun. Like I should be able to figure this out. It's just more complicated than I expected it was gonna be. Because I'm supposed to be able to make a dictionary that sets its type. It's equal to dictionary bracket, and then key type is a integer. Use its own name. Variable test integers, just so I can see if I can do that. No constant dictionary matches the signature dictionary array variant. Oh, I guess I should do this as an integer. Oh wait, that's not gonna work because I'm the only reason that works is because it was an array. How do I guess instead of doing that I could do curly brackets, which would work. No constructor. I also then need to, what were the other values I need to do for it to work? Nil dictionary. But if I click it, then it just opens up. How does this work? I feel like I probably don't actually need to do all of this, which is the problem that I'm expecting I run into. Boop boop. I just don't want to have to set it up in here every time. But I'm not finding the solution that makes it so I can, which is great. Variables, good though. I'm gonna see if I can get any help online. I did not get my answer, it looks like. I don't think I'm gonna get an answer to this. Two. Two. Dictionary. No dictionary. What does? It really is just whenever I go to edit it, then it allows me to change what these are, which I don't like, and I wish I could change how. Oh, that's my documentation. Yeah, I really don't think I have a way. Dictionary editor. How to make it so you can only edit dictionary. Edit dictionary and editor to certain variables. Good though. So update every time new. Careful exporting enums in the editor. If you select an enum in the editor and save scene, actually save value, which is this. How would this work? I'm like looking at get property list, return array. Oh, this is a lot actually. Oh wow, I don't know. I don't even know if that's actually what I'm looking for. Stat handling pseudo dictionary. Ooh. I feel like I'm going insane. Let me see. But no, I don't think I can. I'm like trying to see if I can find some way to do what I want to do, and I'm not seeing it, which is upsetting. But I just gotta move on. I. Yeah, I don't have any other way. Okay. I guess I just gotta assume I don't fuck it up. That which is a problem, but we'll roll with it. Export favorable all positions. Move marker dictionary. On move, it gets. Oh no, I need. I'm gonna need. It's gonna need to be a. Oh, how do dictionaries work? Let me double check. Erase find key. Find key. Find key. This is gonna be current position ID. This also needs to be all position mover dot find key. Yep. All position mover find key. Okay. I'm gonna do. I don't even know how I would test this. Can I run this scene without it? Yeah, it gets upset about that, but I guess the code still runs itself, so it should be fine. Let me think. Why can't I comprehend how this would work? How testing this would work? Don't I have a test scene? Oh no, that's the test. Okay. Let me test. Yeah. Basic move. Base move enemy. Ready. Ready. Print. This is supposed to be function ready. Integer. New value. Array. Size of 1. Integer 1. Add element. Nope. Don't add element. Add key and pair. So 0 and then the array. Okay. Oh wait, that's not where that was supposed to be pasted to. Alright, if I test it now. Interesting. Base enemy script, base movement enemy. This is problem. Try again. Keep getting that error. Okay. This script. I think I'm just gonna do that. 15. It's not printing anything. What? Or did it lose? No, it still has dictionary with the array size 1 1. Test. No, it's just not working. All position, yeah. Plus I do this integer 1 new value. Oh, it's because it's killing itself on the start. That's why. It's because I'm setting. Okay, wait. If I set that, reset that. Okay. Now it should work. No? Okay. Interesting. So it's not working. So it's doing that one. Base movement enemy. This guy has base movement enemy. Do I gotta do this? Function ready. Oh, I didn't do underscore. I'm gonna cry. I'm just gonna cry actually. Null. We love seeing null. Do. What can I do? Can I just print can I just print all positions? Okay, so that worked. Dot find key 1. If inside the dictionary find key may give. Guess instead of find key, what if I did? Oh, I can get. What if I did? Get 0 or get current position ID. Okay, and that okay, that returned the array. Okay, that's what I want. Wait. I don't know what else. I don't know where I go from here. So I can tell that it's getting an array. Instead of find key, I'm supposed to do get current position. Function move all position mover get current ID. All position movers get current position ID equal to. Stop that. All position movers get current ID. Now, how do I split an array apart? Do I count? Variable. Variable. New location. New location is equal to all position mover dot get. New positions. New locations. I guess I can do new positions. New positions. New positions dot count. Function ready move just for testing purposes. Variable new position is equal to new position count. Huh? What? Interesting. Okay. Oh, it's because of attempt. Wait, if I set attempt speed to 5, then try it. Count callable. That's great. Turns the number of times an element. Oh, okay. Wait. No, I misunderstood how that worked actually. Max returns maximum value contained in an array if all elements can be compared, otherwise returns null. Size, that's probably what I want. Size called. Do I have to do this? Is that how I get it to work? 1. Okay. If I then new key integer 0 new value array. This array had a size of 1. Oh wait, no, let me just add all of these integers. And then it can be just for testing purposes. I didn't add that. Okay. Now that one says 3. Like many similar functions engines, such random or pick random. Use a common global run seed. And I could do shuffle. Oh, I could just do that actually. I could just do pick underscore random. Oh. Oh, I have too many of those. Okay. Okay, so that was 3. That one was 2. That one was 1. I don't know how random this is. 3. 1. Okay, so it does seem to be random, which works. Okay. So this one gets the new positions, and then it's I guess I can just do current position ID is equal. You. Yeah. At least for now that should work. Cause oh, it didn't print anything. Print current position ID. 1 1 3. Okay. I can get rid of this ready function. Okay. Function move attempt just attempted is true if difficulty versus random is equal to true. Await move. On move. Variable new position. I can also then do this to be void. Yeah, I can actually set most of these to be void. They're changing stuff with inside of it, not returning anything. I can also get rid of that. Function movement attempt just attempted if difficulty versus random. Okay. Yeah, leave. What? Phone. Shut up. Shut up. Why is my phone talking? Ooh, there's good videos I need to watch. What else would I need to do? I need to do retreat. Export variable retreat. Retreat positions. Retreat positions. This is going to be an array. And then this is going to be I guess it depends on like what enemy I do. I can set their retreat positions. And then I want on function retreat Because that is something that I did make exist, right? Retreat. Retreat. Okay. On retreat, current position ID is equal to uh retreat position dot pick random. Man, it's as simple as that. Man, actually, that I don't believe this. I feel like I shouldn't be believing what I'm seeing. Okay. So I can set the speed, difficulty, current position ID, size. Let me label this stuff. Tree position. Yeah. For for movement based enemies. Actually, if I'm being honest, I don't need to actually make an enemy 1 behavior or an enemy 3 behavior because they should both work the same thing. I just gotta change their dictionaries and their retreat positions. And then obviously like eventually add actual logic to them. But that should, I think one of the main things I would need is I need to figure out how this animation and how animation player works. It's like, yeah. Cause I need it so that it just like whatever position it's in, it like what it goes to that position. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I can't think of much else. Like, I'm sure there's more I can do right now, but I can't think of what else would do. Okay, and then if I did that, oh look at that! I like how Godot just automatically does this stuff. Like this is cool. Like I can't believe I figured that out because that makes like sharing projects so much nicer for people. Like you don't have to write special documentation. Like you can write this stuff in the code and it's very nice. I think I'm gonna call it there. I mean I've lost focus so much time, but also this is really nice. Like I have the base set up. Enemies 1 and 3 should actually I think technically work now. I just need to work out how they actually function in the space. Uh, bu- 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 bu. I think the progression based enemies shouldn't be too much harder. Because mostly what it is that they choose a random spot. I think they are gonna have to have their own separate code from each other, unlike the movement ones. Just because instead of like kind of following the same script, one of them chooses a different position every time it makes progress, and one of them chooses a different position every time it completes a cycle. But also, I can make it so that choosing a random position is I can make it so choosing a random position is a function they both share, but just how when they choose a random position is different. Okay. Yeah, I am gonna end stream. Let me get the end of stream set up. I click that button, I click that button, and hopefully it doesn't what's it called? And hopefully the FOD doesn't like corrupt like the last one. It felt good getting back into coding. It felt good also learning a bunch of stuff. I think the worst feeling part of the day was what's it called? Was struggling for 30 minutes to get dictionaries to work how I wanted them to, and they just won't. So I have to, as long as I don't fuck up the dictionaries when actually making the stuff, I will be fine. I just gotta not fuck up the dictionaries. I couldn't. There ain't no possible way I could fuck up the dictionaries. Alright. I hope everybody has a good night. Bye. Bye.